Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
And good evening, I'm Jim Freeman. We're following a developing story out of Southern Kentucky after officials say a Laurel County paramedic was seriously injured in a crash. The president of Ambulance Incorporated Laurel County confirmed with our sister station WKYT, Lieutenant Will Bishop was returning from a call this evening on East Highway 80 when he drove off the road. Officials believe he suffered some kind of medical emergency before the crash. No other vehicles were involved. Bishop was airlifted to UK with serious injuries. Ambulance Incorporated says he's been with the company for more than 25 years and are asking for prayers during this difficult time. This week, Governor Andy Beshear announced Kentucky has received more than $37 million to prevent overdoses. Governor Beshear says the funding will save lives by increasing access to prevention, harm reduction, treatment, and recovery services for those facing addiction. As Maggie Rickerby shows us, the funding will help local nonprofits across the Commonwealth.
The council has seen an uptick in calls for people struggling from problem gambling in 2024. From January to September this year, the hotline received 2,302 calls. 348 of those calls were callers that said that sports betting was their most problematic form of gambling. The council's executive director, Michael Stone, says the uptick began last year in October, right after sports betting went into effect in the Commonwealth. In a month-by-month breakdown, the 2024 statistics show the peak time for calls this year was in March, totaling 470. February follows behind with 340 calls. Stone tells us these numbers correlate with major sports betting events like the NFL's Super Bowl and the NCAA's March Madness. He says there was also an increase in calls during May, during the Triple Crown races. But Stone says it's important to note that the amount of people suffering from gambling-related issues has not increased. Rather, more people are becoming aware of problems that can come along with it.
They have become aware because of the explosion of advertising for the online sports gambling, the FanDuels, the DraftKings, and all the other online sports betting applications that now all carry the note of gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Stone says the council does not have any definitive evidence that shows that the legalization of sports betting has created more problems with addicted gamblers. In Lexington, Maggie Rickerby, WKYT.
Now, if you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, the Kentucky Help Call Center can connect you to treatment. And that number is on your screen now. You can find more information on this story inside our WYMT News app. That number is 833-8KY-HELP. The London Police Department reported today that it seized the largest amount of fentanyl ever recorded within London city limits. Officers, along with the department's Special Investigation Unit, found more than a kilogram of fentanyl and more than 1,000 fentanyl pills. Officials with the department say the street value is estimated to be more than $50,000. This is an ongoing investigation. The deadline to request a mail-in absentee ballot is only a few days away. This Tuesday, October 22nd, is the last chance to submit your request. All mail-in absentee ballots must be received by 6 p.m. on Election Day, November 5th, to be counted. County clerks are encouraging folks to cast their ballot early and avoid waiting until the last minute.
Well, growing up, you ask a lot of folks, what's your favorite kind of weather? Well, today is kind of a taste of what a lot of people's favorite weather was. We had low 70s, just a little bit of a calm wind, and it wasn't too hot. Stayed pretty sunny. Looking at those observed highs today, we only really got up to the mid-50s, highest 79 there in Monticello, but you didn't get above 70 in Clintwood or Wise today, so overall not too bad. Current temperatures aren't too bad either. We're actually sitting kind of right in the mid-50s into the low 40s and high 40s, and it's just a nice day overall. Not too bad of a night. We are going to get a bit cooler, though. Could see a few high 30s and staying in the mid 40s everywhere else. And coming up in your first alert forecast, I'm going to talk about how sunshine will continue to prevail. We do have a cold front coming through midweek and then a slight rain chance. Jim?
Drake, thanks. Living this forecast. More than 1,000 people got to taste several variations of treats, including the honey bun, which is made in southern Kentucky. WYMT's RJ Johnson takes us to London.
It's going to be a memorable evening. Thank you for being with us.
It is the sweetest day of the year, Honey Bun Day, and thousands of people from near and far made their way to downtown London for the festivities.
So we have a fun event around the Honey Bun where food trucks set up, we have live music, we have great entertainment for the family.
Chris Robinson with London Tourism and Parks says it brings back a lot of memories for not just him, but for many folks living in London.
The community embraces it because they love honey buns. Who doesn't love a honey bun? And on most days, you can smell the honey bun, being made right here because the factory's just right over the hill. So it's a beautiful day.
The celebration also recognizes the long history of honey buns in the city and the important role they play.
Flowers Foods has been part of London for more than 70 years, and the honey bun has been part of London for over 70 years. So they make billions a year. They employ hundreds of people here in our community, and the honey bun has supported thousands of jobs.
Even breaking the record of having 1,005 people eating a honey bun at once. In London, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Thanks, RJ. Robinson says this was the first year they've hosted the events at Town Center Park. One Laurel County business had quite the crowd for the first Harvest Festival. Cornett Farm Fresh hosted the festival with several activities including decorating cookies, pumpkins, games, and of course eating farm-to-table food. Director of Operations Katie Fortney says they had a great turnout despite construction on Highway 192 drastically decreasing sales for the last couple of days.
So just to kind of see, the community come together and support a local business has just been very overpowering. Despite what, that's going to happen outside with the construction, it's going to be great right now. Of course we're going through that still. So it's been really awesome to just see the community come together from far and wide.
Fortney says opening the one-way road in front of their store leading to the light at the Don Franklin Ford dealership next to them has helped folks who have to turn left that cannot due to the construction. We invite you to stay with us.